on today's CWN Medical Moment, we are talking with Dr. Karen Russell about colon cancer. Welcome, Dr. Russell.
Thank you for having me.
So is colon cancer genetic or is it sporadic?
Most of the time it's sporadic. I mean, the greatest risk is us just getting older, having to divide more cells, and sometimes we make mistakes. There's a distinct population, usually if you have a family member who's had it, there's some syndromes that you can have it early. We've certainly had some patients in their 20s here in those families, and so there are heightened screening for those populations.
Okay.
But most of us just get it as we get older.
And when does screening typically occur?
Screening has changed. That's a really good point. We, for years and years, and still most of the professional societies recommend age 50 to start looking. As of last year, the American Cancer Society suggested for all of the average risk, the sporadic screening, we should start at 45 instead of 50.
Okay.
Reason why is the incidence of colon cancer is increasing every year by about 1% in those under 55. So if we start at 45, hopefully we're catching that 50 to 55 cancer risk.
Absolutely. Now, are there populations that have more of a propensity to, get colon cancer?
Absolutely. There's a slight higher risk in men, and so that's important. And actually, African Americans have a higher risk, followed by Native Americans, and so both incidence and death. So there's a lot of people looking at disparities and how we can get that screening to all populations in an appropriate way.
Absolutely. Now, what are the treatments for colon cancer?
So the best treatment is preventing it.
Yes.
Absolutely, because we have so many useful screening tools, and any combination of them that we can get someone to do can find colon cancers and get them before they're invasive.
Okay.
Certainly, I give chemotherapy, which nobody wants to meet me though. This is the Cancer Center.
This is the Cancer Center.
Wonderful.
It is.
But if you need chemotherapy or radiation, occasionally we'll use for colon cancer, usually for rectal cancer. Things have gone too far. Even if we do have patients who it gets away, we can still cure them in a lot of cases, which people don't realize. But it certainly involves a lot more work than doing appropriate screening and prevention.
Okay, and prevention measures?
So the biggest gold standard that we've had for years is the colonoscopy. Problem is, people run away from colonoscopies because, they're worried about people looking at their butt and, but, there's that book, Everyone Poops. This is true. And the colonoscopy is great because it can visualize a problem, and then if there are early potential polyps that can grow into cancers over our lifetime, usually in the sporadic population, they can get rid of them right there.
Okay.
The problem is it's a bowel prep, it's a little bit of sedation, and it's expensive. And so while it is the gold standard, it's been something that's been hard to reach and frightening for a lot of people. And so there are now better tests you can do at home. Your doctor can give you something called a FIT test, which is a fecal immunohistochemical test. So it is a fancier, better way to find blood in your stool. And so literally you can put a little probe in your sample, box it up, and mail it off.
Right.
And so particularly for that 45 population, that's a very cost-effective way to screen. And if there is blood, the interesting thing about that test is we know it's blood from the colon and down, not from your stomach or above, which was one of the problems.
Gotcha.
You don't have to change what you eat. They've made it so easy. And so a lot of folks in that early population, 40 to 50, are using that as a screening tool. You don't have to do a bowel prep either. It's cheap. And if that's positive, then definitely colonoscopy.
Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Stay tuned for more conversations.